show with restaurant critic and radio host Peter Dills. Peter readily admits to being born into the world of food, as he is the son of noted restaurant critic Elmer Dills. As far back as he can remember, Peter was following his father from restaurant to restaurant, always tasting, always learning about food and discovering new and exciting restaurants and travel destinations. As his food adventure comes full circle, he now stars on radio and television with his popular food and travel show, Dining with Dills, named after his father Elmer. And now, your host, Peter Dills.
All right, everybody, it's Peter Dills, Dining with Dills, the Dining Doctor, a.k.a. LA Foodie. Actually, it's a Saturday here in Pasadena. We're over with the rain, and I decided to do a podcast from my house. Yeah, indeed, the Casa de Dills, as they call it. Peter Dills, LA Foodie. We will be moving the studio to Pasadena Media. It's a nonprofit organization based here in Pasadena. Public access, but we'll be doing our show. I plan on doing a show on being an entrepreneur. How did you get into the business? Maybe you started a food business out of your garage. You had a great idea for how to do a energy drink better. So many young entrepreneurs out there. I thought that would be an exciting show here to talk with them. When you do public access, of course, it can be a nonprofit, so I can't make any money on the deal, but of course, we'll be accepting donations. You can always get a hold of me, the Chef Knows at yahoo.com, the Chef Knows at yahoo.com. The show's going to sound a lot better. We're going to have bells and whistles and all that kind of stuff. We've got my friend Marco is going to help me on the video portion of it. I've always wanted to do a podcast where you could actually see me in the studio doing a podcast. To me, radio is dead. I've done radio for 20 years. I don't want to say that nobody listens to radio anymore. I just don't think, I think podcast is the way to go. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, if you said, people would say to me, hey, this is my friend Peter Dills, he does a podcast. I'd say, no, I do a radio show. So I think that podcasts are the way to go. And if you can publicize it right and do it the right way, I think it's a winning formula. Yes, I do review restaurants, but back in the old days, I would drive up to Santa Barbara, Laguna, looking for great restaurants. But times have changed. Things are too expensive. For me to review a restaurant down in Laguna Beach, to drive down there, to pay for the meal, it just doesn't make sense. So if you're listening to the podcast here, you know that I'm pretty much local. Speaking of local, I still write for the Tolucan Times out in Toluca Lake, Sierra Madre, the Mountain View News. You can pick that up. And then online, something new and exciting I really want you to check out. It's called localpasadenanews.com, where I have articles there about restaurants as well. In fact, I had a meeting with the owner, Cheryl, the other day, and we were talking about how I pick restaurants. And how I pick restaurants is usually from you sending me an email to chefknows at yahoo.com or friends on Facebook and telling me about great restaurants that I should check out. I try to keep it positive. Nobody wants to hear about a bad restaurant, but every now and then I run into a clunker and I'll try just not to comment on it unless somebody gets a hold of me on Facebook or Instagram and asks me how I liked it. For an example, just this past week I went to Prime Pizza. Prime Pizza is up on Allen and I want to say New York Drive. Busy, crowded. It was a weekend night. I get it. The rain had gotten behind us, and I think a lot of people wanted to get out and get pizza. So I wanted to check out Prime Pizza. Never had it before, and I got to say, it was good. Yeah, lots of people there. I could tell people from Pasadena, Altadena, San Marino made the trek up to Prime Pizza. I did order the pizza online. Got the pepperoni pizza. It's kind of my go-to. So what did I think? A lot of people working there. That's for sure. The thing I noticed is that you go to a place like Tarantino's or Domenico's, they have one main pizza oven. To me, Prime Pizza, they had a lot of convection ovens. You know the difference between a convection oven and a pizza oven? Well, basically a convection oven, it's fine. You can make pizza that way. But I always look at it, it's like if you're making barbecue, you want to barbecue at a real barbecue restaurant, you want to have a smoker. Having a convection oven gets the pizza hot, I don't know what the temperature of a pizza is supposed to be, 800 degrees. Pizza was good. I'll just tell you right now, 7 out of 10, strong 7. I had a couple people on Facebook tell me that they found that the pizza was overrated at Prime Pizza. I don't think so. I don't think it's overrated. I don't think I could tell you right now how they could make the pizza any better than it is. Meaning I go to a restaurant, I order clam chowder. I could probably tell them how to make it better, or a Caesar salad, or French fries. But Prime Pizza, I think it's a kind of a chain. They've got them in different locations. Strong 7 out of 10. If you go up there, tell them Peter Dills sent you. In fact, if you go to any restaurant, make sure that you let them know, hey, there's Peter Dills out there. The guy that has the billboards on the 210 freeway that reaches a million a million cars every week. Yeah, those billboards, 210 freeway, 1 million cars every week going west and east. You can get a hold of me, the chef knows, at yahoo.com. We're still working on the website. We'll get that back and running soon. And like I said, we'll be moving to a new studio at Pasadena Media on Los Robles, and we'll have people that are going to be helping with the show and making sure that it doesn't sound like I'm doing it from my house, but hey, big deal. That's what a podcast probably started out, people doing it from their house. Thanksgiving's coming up. Just before we end the show, I've got a couple thoughts on wine that you might want to check out. Before we do that, thank you to Casa del Rey up in Sierra Madre. Casa del Rey up in Sierra Madre. Jamie makes a incredible margarita, shredded tacos, Taco Tuesday. Support your local neighborhood restaurant. That's Casa del Rey up in Sierra Madre. And down, of course, in South Pasadena, we love the Tui's restaurant, the lobster roll. I don't know if it's still $19.99, but whatever it is, it's real good. And then out in the La Brea area, 3rd Street, at the farmer's market, Jim Cascone, Huntington Meats. It's not too late to order a turkey. All right, so speaking of turkey, here's a couple thoughts that I had. Rosé, A-I-X, that's a good rosé. Domaine Carneros, if you're looking for something like sparkling wine, it's the closest that you're going to find to real champagne. If you want real champagne, of course, you're going to go to Tattinger. You want some Tattinger to go with your turkey. Chardonnays don't particularly go well with turkeys. No, let me say that they do go well with turkeys. They just don't go with the gravy, the fixings, and everything on the side. So if you're just going to have some turkey, hopefully you like dark meat like I do. Chardonnay is fine, St. Francis Chardonnay, but I would stick with something like a rosé, a sparkling wine. And the king of wines that go with turkey, Pinot Noir. All right, so that's kind of it. I wanted to get the show done fast so I could edit it. And hopefully the next time you hear my podcast if you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you're listening to this, hopefully we'll be up and running at Pasadena Media. And again, thanks to Tui's and Casa del Rey and Tattinger Champagne and Jim Cascone at Huntington Meats for helping out with the donation to make sure that every week we can do a podcast. If you want to get a hold of me, maybe you want to help with the podcast, the chef knows at yahoo.com. The chef knows at yahoo.com. Gobble, gobble. Thank you. Everybody have a great, happy Thanksgiving.